We're going to go through comping now. So usually what we would do is we would do probably the whole lead part for the song in sections. For the purposes of this video, we've just got the chorus here. So we've got the wasting my timeline on its own. And then we've got the line that comes before and after it. So this, once we've edited it, it'll just go and get slotted in and copied in at the right points. So we'll just start off by listening through the takes we've got and seeing what we like. And because Mark did a few different versions of it, because we quite often like to try different things as we record. So you can see our vocal chains down here on the left, which we'll look at later, but we've not put any of that on yet. This is completely dry, just to listen through, because we find that's the easiest way to hear about any background noise and breaths and all that sort of stuff that we want to take out when we're comping it. So this is the takes.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time.
Sound pretty good.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time.
Almost identical. Nice job.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time.
Okay, so we tried a different version there. That was sort of what we did for this. We quite often would do that, where we'll try it a few different ways. I think we both agreed that we preferred the first way.
Yeah.
So we went back to that, which we'll hear on the next take.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time.
And that just has a little bit more held at the end, just a little bit more relaxed. So it's getting nice now to probably what we want to use.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time.
And again, that was almost identical to the previous one.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time.
Perfect. So we sort of know that the last three ones that we got were sort of the best for what we're looking for, which quite often ends up being the case, because as you're recording, you can sort of make little improvements. So we'd start off by just taking the breaths out at the start. So we'll find exactly where the first breath comes in.
Tell me.
So that's sounding pretty good. Now, a lot of people use noise gates for this sort of thing, and we do use noise gates as well, but we find that it's good to sort of trim it really finely, because it means
as much as you can.
Yeah, because then it means you're not relying on the noise gate, because sometimes it can mean that the first word of the line maybe gets slightly lost. And this way it means that you know that whatever, sometimes you'll be sending the vocals dry to someone if they're wanting to do something different with them. It means there's never going to be any noise, and it's going to be an issue.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time.
So I think we're pretty good with this line to just use the full thing.
My time.
Sounded pretty nice. So there we go. You happy with that?
Yeah.
So we've kind of got that one comped. That was pretty easy. The next one is we've got this line that goes before and after the wasting my timeline, and again we did 6 takes of it. So we'll let you hear the difference between the first and the last takes to see the sort of change as we sort of altered the way it was done slightly.
I'm not wasting my time. You know you break me down. I can't get out, but I try.
So that was the one in the previous video you saw me saying to Mark that it could do with being a wee bit more punchy, because it sounds just a little bit too chilled out, because there's going to be a big fat kick in there, so you kind of want the vocal to be like matching the sort of energy of the drums, whereas if you listen to this one, it sounds much more energetic.
My time. You know you break me down. I can't get out, but I try.
So you hear that it's much more staccato, break me down, and then that means that when that's really finely edited, it's going to be really satisfying, hopefully, to listen to that with the kick, because it's going to be really tight timing wise. So I think we'd probably both agree this is the best one to go with. So again, we'll take the breaths out at the start here.
The other one off.
Turn it off.
The track before.
Yeah.
You know you break me down. You know you break me down. I can't get out.
So there's a wee bit in here that we'd want to take out, just a breath and a sort of like noise, which sounds not too obvious here, but when we put like a compressor and everything on that,
you've got reverb on that gets brought out.
You don't want that, so we'll take that out. So
you know you break me down. I can't.
So that could be one of two things. Sometimes with that sort of thing, it might be something that we'll need to take a different take for, or it might be something we can just cut out. So what we would usually tend to do, the thing that we like to do, is we'll go to the take below, go like that, and just delete a little bit of it. And then it means that we can pull these ones either way. So let's see if we're able to get rid of that, or we might need to go to a new take.
Me down, I can't get out.
So hopefully you can hear that that's completely got rid of that.
Break me down, I can't get out, but
and then just double check, yeah, that's not going down there. So This is sounding pretty nice so far.
I can't get out.
So again, on that word out, there was a wee sort of word, a wee noise there, and I'm pretty sure that was on the actual word, which means that we'll need to take another take for it. Because if it's before or after, we can edit it, but if not, we'll need to use a different take.
Get out.
Yeah, so I don't know if you can hear that, but there's just a little ugly sound there, so we'll probably jump down. Maybe for ease, jump down for the previous word as well, just so it sort of jumps between nicely. So let's see how this sounds.
I can't get out, but I try.
So there's another little sound there, but that was before the out, which is helpful. So we'll try and edit that out now. So again, just jumping down to the tape below, see if this works.
Get out. Out. Get out.
You're on the end of that one there.
Get out, but I can't get out, but I try.
So hopefully you can hear that. Happy with that?
Yeah. And it's the slight changes like that. They take a wee bit of time, but when there's loads of them together, especially if you've got loads of group vocals together, if you've got little sounds in each part, when you've got 5, 6, 7 vocals at the same time, they do add up. And you start noticing if you've got breaths in or whatever, it can sound quite cluttered.
Yeah. And then it's always good to just keep referring back just to make sure it all flows nicely.
You know you break me down. I can't get out, but I try.
So that's all sounding really nice and flowing. Again, on the word try, there was just a little sound we'd try and get rid of. Mark's done a good job here. There's not any real sort of bum notes that we're needing to worry about too much. It's all just the little sounds. But it happens, obviously, of course, everyone does. So sometimes you'll find that there'll be a little bum note that we'll need to go back through and chop between takes for. For more sort of difficult sings, because this is quite, no offence, your singing's amazing, but this is quite a sort of straightforward thing to sing. For something that's a bit more belty, sometimes it'll be a case of cutting between quite a few takes, because to really get that energy on the first note, it might have meant that the second note was just a little bit less
and again,
strong.
Definitely saying about the recording of it, it's so much easier if you record loads of takes at once. Because if you record a take and think, oh, I want to redo this bit, it's really hard to go back and then try and record something to make a word sound flowing. Whereas, as you can hear with these, when you record 4, 5, 6, however many it is, takes all one after the other, they tend to sound quite similar. So even things as simple as an extra inch or two away from the mic make the take sound too different to the last one. So if you've got 6 takes in a row, you're able to really pick between them.
Yeah, and also when the singer, when you're really in the zone and in the flow of it, it's always good to just sort of really try and capture that. Rather than chopping and changing, going back to what we were saying earlier on about letting the singer be the diva, if the singer's feeling it, just let them run with it. And sometimes it feels really good to sing something, so you want to just keep singing it, and that's fine. Just let that happen, because sometimes a really nice thing will happen that you weren't expecting to. So we'll just try and get the wee bit of the word try out here. Should be okay.
But I try.
Sounds pretty good.
I try.
And then we'll just take out the end of this.
But I try.
So there we go. We've got that has not been too bad actually. We've not had to cut between many takes there at all, and we've ended up with no breaths being able to be heard, and the little sort of noises from the mouth opening and closing and stuff. We've taken them out. So once we put the vocal chain on it, will sound pretty sweet. So I'll play both these lines together.
Tell me I'm not wasting my time. You know you break me down. I can't get out, but I try.
Nice. There was just a little bit here too much.
Try.
Back a bit. Keep going.
Try.
Yeah, nice. And
can't get out, but I.
Breath before.
But I.
So yeah, always looking for little things.
Yeah.
But I try. Oh, but I try. Oh, but I try. Oh, I can't get out, but I try.
Back even more.
Do you think, but back more?
Yeah.
Get out, but I try.
Nice. So so it should be said actually that this style of making it this specific, you won't need to do this for every style of vocals. If we're doing sometimes we do acoustic versions of the dance tracks that we've done, or just more stripped back ballads. And for
You
those
want
sort
it
of
to sound
songs,
real.
yeah, you would want it to sound more real. So you'd probably try and keep some of the breaths in there, and the things that keep it sort of feeling very organic. For a song like this, however, it's all about getting it sounding really like the vocals are almost more of an instrument.
Yeah.
So they should be as tightly edited as the drums.
And the other thing with this, we wanted to put that hook chorus part at the start a cappella on its own with no instrumental. So when you've got loads of vocals together, there's no instruments with that, so they need to be perfect.
Yeah.
But if you've got a really busy instrumental, you can get away with not being as particular if something's quieter.
Yeah,
less
and
noticeable.
it also applies because we know we're going to add backing vocals to this, and you want it all to be very, very tightly edited if there's going to be lots of backing vocals. If it's a lead part, especially in a sort of a more stripped back sort of acoustic type song, you can have the space to make it more organic sounding. So hopefully that makes sense for comping.